All right, guys. Hello and good morning. This is Andy McCann here with another episode here on Fitness, Food, and Finance. And I'm going to answer a question that I got from the Survival Podcast. Another Andy sent a question in, and he's basically saying, how do I strengthen my back/spine? Now, obviously, you don't strengthen your spine. You strengthen your back muscles and all that. But in a nutshell, he says he's 35 and he pulled his back and pinched a sciatic nerve and he got it fixed by a chiropractor. But what can I do to keep my back strong as I grow older? Hey man, I represent that for sure. I pinched my back, it was maybe 2009, 2010, chasing a deadlift with Eric, Wes, and Shane. They're all bigger dudes and they're like, let's get to 400 pounds. And I was like, sure, why not? And so I did make it, and over time I've gotten up to like 407, so I did catch up to the ability that I should have had, but I pushed too hard way early on, and I pinched something in my back. Some days I still have, when I wake up, I have to lay in a fetal position to kind of pull my back or loosen it up. And it usually happens if I forget to do my rolling maintenance procedure. And I'm going to have this all in the show notes, but I'll show it to you as well. If you're on the video, you'll see it. If you're not in the video, then you're just going to hear me talk about it. And I'm going to talk about some exercises I would do for you guys. So there's going to be kind of two ways to do this. One is you don't do anything and your back hurts. The other is you're here at the gym. What do I do to help my back? Okay, so the other thing he mentioned was I have a desk job, so he's sitting all day, but then he's also very active outside on his homestead. Of course, the Survival Podcast is a lot about homesteading. Y'all should listen to that one. It's a great podcast. Jack Spirko is an awesome host. Anyway, so actually, let me show you. If you're watching, you'll see it right here. This is part of the Survival Podcast. So on Thursday, he does an experts show, and I am one of the experts for health and fitness. Of course, on this podcast, it's food, fitness, and finance. But over there, he's got John Pugliano, who has his own wealth-steading business. So he does all the finance stuff. I just listen and obey. So actually, here's a great lesson for you guys. Find someone you know, like, and trust that is already doing what you want, and then listen to their advice. So when John says a thing, I pretty much will do it. When Jack says a thing in this environment that I like, homesteading, Bitcoin, all that, I pretty much will just go, all right, I'm going to listen. Okay, so what could I do? So the number one thing is CrossFit, right? So if you go to CrossFit's main page and you type in, like, what is it? It's going to tell you CrossFit is a core to extremity muscular recruitment foundational program. So its whole thing is to strengthen your core, your inside, to the extremity, your hand. So if you think about what's going on in an athlete or the pursuit of functional fitness is you're not just doing like calf raises or bicep curls. The thing you're doing has a point to it, like in the other Andy's case, swinging an axe, right? So you generate the massive momentum with your core, so like starting at your hip flexor, and then you bring it outward, and then the final expression of quickness is with your hand flicking down. So all the momentum has been gathered up, or think about it like a baseball. You don't flick your wrist for the throw. You wind up with all the parts of your body starting at your hip flexor, and then you unwind, and the last thing to go is your hand and your wrist whipping pop, right? Well, maybe your fingers even. So you can't lift with your fingers. That'd be dumb. It's not an extremity to core. It's a core to extremity. So how do you get your core stronger? CrossFit. Just do what we do. That's going to get it stronger. Now, you can chase stupid stuff like I did, which is outside of CrossFit. I just wanted to hit a 400-pound deadlift because it sounded cool. And you might do something dumb. Now, if you're doing movements that involve explosiveness and twisting, like throwing a baseball, throwing a football, swinging an axe, or tossing wood like sideways, right? Or shoveling. Usually that's not explosive, but you know what I mean. Maybe at the end you flick, or with the log you throw. There's a high propensity for a pinch to happen. It's not uncommon. So here's what I do to keep my back in shape. I've got this foam rolling technique. Let me see if I don't know if I can play it. Sometimes it like says, I violated the copyright by playing a video, even though it's like my own video. So I don't understand. Not that I'm monetizing any of this, but I don't know. I don't want to break any rules. So anyway, this is my video. You can go to at Andy McCann 42 and on YouTube, and then just type in rolling and you'll see it. But this is my maintenance mode rolling out after every class. So what you're going to see is I'm on a PVC pipe. Why? Because it hurts more. It's like having, somebody stand on your back and massage it rather than just lightly press. So this hurts a lot more. You get a lot more bang for the buck. I'm going to roll my right and left glute. So maybe I won't play it. I'll just roll it. I'll just slide it forward. There you go. You can see me leaning. And I've got in that case, it'd be my right glute rolling back and forth. You're going to find as you roll over that glute muscle, your hip bone is going to get in the way, or your butt bone, whatever that pelvic bone down there is. That's good. When the muscle is jammed up on it and it goes pop, and you roll past it, that's what you want. You want to find that precipice, that point where it's about to pop, and just sit on it and let it smash. That's going to be good stuff. So you do that on your right side, do that on the left side. The next thing I do is I drop in front of the roller, and I do the exact same thing on my lower back. So here you can see me leaning over to the right, and I'm getting not on your spine, but the muscles to the side. I think you're like your back strap, right? I'm sure it's got an appropriate name, but I don't know what it is. So you roll that out. You're going to roll from your belt line up to your shoulder blade. Sometimes I roll past my shoulder blade. It just depends on how I'm feeling. I'll do that back and forth a few times. And the last thing I'm going to do is flip all the way over and roll out my IT band. So let's see if I pointed it out on this video. Yeah, there you go. If you're wearing blue jeans or anything that has a seam on the side of your pants, your IT band is about where that outside seam is, maybe a little bit up, maybe about an inch up, depending on where that seam kind of fits. But it's about, if your leg was a clock, it'd be at like the 10:30 position. And when you roll your IT band, you'll know you're there because you're going to want to crap your pants. It hurts a lot. The goal would be to do this long enough over time, like 3 months or whatever, for it to stop hurting. If it still hurts, then you need to keep going, right? So keep going until the pain goes away, not in the one session, but over time. So, and then upgrade to a harder pipe. So I would recommend you guys use this right here. It's an Amazon foam roller. I think this guy is only like $10, or there it is, $15. Actually, I'd get the 12-inch one, so because you don't need a really wide one, and that one's $11. And I think this has got like 112,000 reviews and 4.6 stars. So that's pretty dang good. We use these at the gym as well. I would roll out all the time. I would roll out all the time no matter what, but especially if your back hurt. So that's the video. The thing that I use is this guy right here. It's just a 2 foot, 4-inch in diameter pipe, and it's from Home Depot. It's weirdly also like $15. So I'd go there. The other thing you can do is, there used to be a site called ROMWOD. So it was kind of a play off of mobility and workout of the day. Anyway, they've changed it to pliability. So if you go to pliability.com, you can actually like find stretches that you can do to help yourself out right here. Another way to do it is just simply do the stretches that make sense so you don't have to recreate the wheel. People have done this from time immemorial. So let me go first through the strengthening of your back. So if you just want to strengthen, you don't want to be healthy and fit, you don't want to look better naked, and you don't want to be harder to kill, you just want to strengthen your back, I would do back squat and a deadlift. So in a back squat or a deadlift, I would of course go full range of motion. Let's see if I've got a video of that I can show you guys right here. Let me pause you. There you go, right here. So if you go back to the YouTube and you type in under my channel, door jam squat, you'll see this. Basically right around the 8-second mark, I'm down in a deep squat and I'm pointing at my hip crease, showing that it's below the top of my knee. So that's a good squat. I would load with a bar on your back, right? But I would get to this position. I would probably stick to like 10 reps. That way it can't be too heavy. And I would really feel out my back, like, hey, let's not push this too far. Never belt, because you're trying to fight the fact that your back doesn't feel great. You don't want to give your back fake support. You want it to do all the work. Anyway, so back squat. You can change it up with doing tempo, so like 5 seconds down and then spring back up, or 5 seconds down, 5 seconds up. That's totally fine. Just realize when you do tempo squats, you'll do a lot less weight. But the weight isn't the thing. It's strengthening your core. Okay, so when you kind of like drive in your core, one way is just to squeeze, like you're trying to poop, right? You just squeeze, and that's one way to strengthen your core, or to create a tight core. Another way is to take your 2 index fingers, put them underneath your rib cage, like lean back and put them under your rib cage, and then squeeze down. When your fingers pop out, you're squeezing your core. The other way to do it, which is a little harder to hold on to, but if you think of a Kegel, what do they call them? Not a Kegel squat, just a Kegel, I guess. So you're squeezing that muscle that's kind of like weirdly between the, your private stuff. Anyway, you're squeezing that Kegel area. You want to squeeze up through the inside. So think, can I squeeze up into my spine? And then bring your rib cage down around that. That's going to create incredible support. It's hard to hold on to when you're doing multiple lifts. It's easier on a 1 rep max, and I would not do a 1 rep max, especially if your back hurts. I pretty much never do those now. So Andy had asked, how do I do this into my old age? One is don't do 1 rep maxes anymore. That's just for showing off for the girls. Doing reps and sets are for strength and longevity. The other lift I would do is the deadlift. Everything applies to that as well. Get a good range of motion. That one's hard to mess up because the bar's on the ground, and then you're standing up tall. Okay, so those are the specific things I would do for strengthening. Maybe you can add in some sit-ups so you can have some flexibility. You could think GHD sit-ups and back extensions and hip flexions, but I don't know, man. I'm just not a fan. My back feels weird when I intentionally give up that lumbar curve, so I probably wouldn't do that. Probably. Andy McCann does not do that. I would not recommend, Andy, you do that unless you play around with it and you're like, oh no, it feels good. A couple of the guys in the gym swear by it. I hate getting on the glute ham developer, the GHD machine. No, thank you. Okay, so other questions on this is what about stretching? What would you do there? Yeah, and there's some good things you can do. So one, that child's pose is good, the fetal position, whatever you want to call it. But two, so we've already kind of gone through the core strengthening. You can do that. You want to strengthen that posterior chain, and then also this mobility and flexibility. This is where Pilates and yoga come into play. So you're going to have to Google these because I reviewed my notes because I do make some notes, and I was like, I can't explain these very well. Even when I say it and I know what I'm trying to say, it still sounds stupid. But anyway, you could do a bird dog. You could do the cat stretch. You can do, what's it called? Child's pose. You can do side planks. Also glute bridges, and there's multiple ways to do it. I like glute bridges where you're using both legs as well as going single leg, or you put one out. You have a Superman hold. You can do that laying on the ground, or you can try to do it while hanging from a rig. The next one is dead hang, so you're going to be hanging anyway, so maybe you get a 2-for-1 there. Romanian deadlift, farmer's carry. I'm a much bigger fan of the suitcase carry, but not as many people believe in it. So farmer's carry, think I'm carrying 2 things, one in each hand, and it's just heavy and I'm walking, right? A suitcase carry, same thing, but only using one hand. That really causes the non-loaded muscles to really squeeze down to keep you from bending over. The suitcase carry is very particular. As a matter of fact, I think I did a video on that. Let me see if I can find it and pull it up. All right, there it is. It's called Suitcase Carry on the Horizon. I should probably change the name because I was saying that it was coming. So I should just change it to Suitcase Carry. Anyway, if you're looking at the video, great. If not, I'm going to explain it to you. So I've got a lighter weight. In my case, it's about a 20-pound dumbbell or a kettlebell. And you want to pull it about 1 inch off of your leg and then stand super straight. So you don't want it to tip you left or right. You want to be able to stand normal even though you're pulling your arm and the weight off to the side. They're going to take very robotic steps and then switch hands, do the exact same thing. So suitcase carry is pretty good. You also got some Jefferson curls. Okay, more on the stretching is, I think I might have said this one, but the cat-cow, and then you've got hip flexor and hamstring. The old sit and reach, it sucks, but man, it's very useful. So if you can't reach your toes, no problem. Just grab onto your leg and just hold down. Or if you want a little extra stretch, you can get a band, put it around your toes, and pull it so that you're leaning over and kind of cantilevering yourself over. So that's a good one right there. You definitely want to be stretched and warmed up. There is a lot of stretching that goes on during a warm-up or like beforehand. It almost really doesn't help unless you're already warm. So you know me, if you're seeing me in the gym, I have a hoodie on and I have my pants on. I'm saying warm. A lot of that is because at the end of the workout, I'm going to be doing some rolling and stretching. So being super warm is really good when you're going to go into this whole mobility and flexibility and stretching and mobilizing and all that. If you have a sauna, which I don't, you can jump in that. That's going to heat you up artificially. You don't have to be moving. And you'll be a lot more supple for this movement. Okay, something else that I did for the Survival Podcast the other week, one of the guys had a question, what about, what can I do if I'm at a desk or have a stand-up desk? So I did this mostly for the Survival Podcast, but anybody else can go here and look at these resources totally free. So if you go to crossfitgarage.com/TSPC, so the Survival Podcast, you'll see the things that I've been putting together for that audience over the last couple months. I just keep getting the links added here so you can find it really easy. So there is one that says exercise at your desk. Weirdly, that's what it's about. If you click on it, it's going to give you some things that I would do. There's also one called regain mobility. weirdly, that's what it talks about, right? There's an at-home test. Am I healthy enough? I guess I should change that one. At-home test for health and fitness. But anyway, there is resources here for you so that you don't have to go around searching for it. I mean, it's right here. This is what we talk about. Easy to click, and you can walk through these things. Exercising at your desk is awesome. You don't have to. Let me take that back. You're not going to be exercising in terms of, oh, I'm sweaty, or oh, I gained muscles. What you're doing is fighting this. I've sat for 8 hours. Feebleness is chasing you down, and it wants you to die, right? Time is not on your side. Well, time is on your side, but you know what I mean. Time is against you. Every moment that's gone by will never come back. Your body is the ultimate adaptation machine. If you tell it, I'm going to sit at work and then go home and sit and read and eat and then lay down and go to bed, your body will shrink to fit the world you gave it. So your tendons will shrink, your muscles will shrink, your diet will shrink. So if you eat too much, you'll just get fat, right? If you push the other side of that, your body's going to be like, oh, damn, he's doing a thruster in the middle of the day. I should probably keep myself mobile to do that. So it'll start trying to recruit muscle to lengthen tendons, all that sort of stuff. So you want to do things. You don't want to be sedentary. So look at that exercise at your desk. You can see a bunch of things you can do. Probably the easiest and best thing, I would buy some dumbbells, maybe like 20 pounders or 30 pounders. And then I would stand up every 30 minutes and do like 10 thrusters. Those are really hard to do. It'll probably tire you out, but it's like an awesome movement. In this long scope of the things that I've done here at CrossFit Garage in the last 20-ish years, what I would tell you, what I have come up with that is the secret of all secrets is, one, stay away from processed foods, stay away from sugar. And then two is on the exercise side, get out of breath 3 times a week. Lift something heavy 3 times a week. Squat below parallel 3 times a week. Mix that up as much as creativity will allow, and you are going to do damn good, right? I guess I would throw in there use intensity, but that kind of getting out of breath is part of that. If you go for a long jog, you never really get out of breath. You want to go for a fast jog, right? So intensity is the key. Okay, what else do I want to tell you here? Okay, so off of the desk idea, in the things that you're doing, obviously warm up beforehand. Stretching really doesn't work unless you hold the position for 2 minutes or you're super warm and kind of in that adaptation phase. You want to use good mechanics. Why even do any of the things we do unless you're going to do it well? So it is embarrassing to me to see people go to the gym and they do a squat and they spend all this time in the gym and they're doing like a quarter squat. So they're just going down a tiny bit. You're like, what the hell is that even doing? Yes, you lifted more weight, but they erroneously equate the weight that I'm lifting to the fitness that I am. I mean, it's not really true. Think of the strongest men that you can know of, these strongman competitions. Are they the fittest that you know? No, they're very particular in the thing they do. They're good at being a strongman. But if you had asked them, let's go run a marathon, they would die, right? Same thing. On the other side, you look at a marathoner and you're like, hey, are you the epitome of fitness? She's like, hey, help me lift some concrete bags to build a concrete patio or whatever. They're probably not going to be able to do it, right? So health and fitness is a combination of those things. Other ones you can do, obviously stay hydrated and work on your grip strength. So the insurance people will tell you that your longevity is sort of equated. What do they call that? It's corollary, not causation, but it's the other one. Causation and the other word, whatever. I can't think of it right now. Anyway, they say that if you floss, then you're going to live longer. If your grip strength is high, then you're going to live longer. It has nothing to do with flossing or grip strength. Those are just things that indicate the type of person you are. So if you floss, you're the type of person who will do those detailed things, and those detailed things add up. Flossing doesn't really have anything to do with it. Grip strength doesn't have anything to do with it. If you had no hands, but you did all of the things that gave you grip strength, you would live longer, because basically you can't deadlift unless you're gripping, right? So grip strength is kind of the side thing you can measure that says, I did all the prerequisite work. Okay, this doesn't have to be complicated, but it certainly isn't always simple. You have to do the things. I do this every day. Even today, I woke up late, my timing was off, Levi was home from college, I was like, dang it, I can't make it to the gym the time I thought I was, but today is a 2,000 meter row. I have 2 rowers in the basement. I will go downstairs and row. That way, I will be here when he's waking up and getting ready to leave, because I wanted to be able to see him, right? Which I had to pause in the middle of this and go talk to him. So somewhere in here, he gets a little herky-jerky. That's because I was like away for like 20 minutes and forgot where I was. Anyway, you should always solve one problem at a time, right? First problem was I want to let my college kids know that I'm there for them, so I need to actually show up. So while this is important, that is important. Okay. Yeah, and I already lost where I was. Your grip strength, final thoughts is do this every day. I do this every day. Listen to your body. Understand what's wrong. I know I'm solving for, my future goal is to be healthy and fit enough to coach my kids in soccer. Does it have to be soccer? No. But the idea is I'm healthy and fit enough to coach my kids. I have to be active. They also have to like me, because if they don't like me, they're going to be like, no, Dad, you can't coach them because you're a dick. So I'm working on that. Okay. Other things for you gym guys. We're here at the end of what I wanted to tell you, but I've got some fun things for you guys here in Woodstock. If you're in Woodstock, come to CrossFit Garage. If you're in Cherokee County, I got some stuff for you too. You probably don't want to come to my gym because you're too far away. We do have garagefitness.online. So you guys, if you're actually not here and you want to sign up for something cool, we've got that. It sort of follows what we're doing. Brandon Phillips is doing the programming. But I've got some other things for you guys. One, we have game night. Let me see if I can find the game night post. Hold on. All right, here we go. So we did game night. So we're flip-flopping back and forth between D&D, DCC, and board games, depending on who's showing up. So here we've got David, Jordan, Stu, and Dean. Dean is Star's husband. Star was a member, back before COVID, before that kind of went crazy, right? And she owns one of the gymnastics places that I can't think of the name of, that they moved it down to Marietta. Anyway, so Dean was here, and we'll be doing this again. So our next get-together is going to be, oh man, I already forgot what the date because we moved it. Hold on. It's going to be March 9th here at the McCann Zombie Complex. So we just park on the grass and we meet in the basement. And we'll do something. So a lot of us show up. Great. We'll just split into two groups. If it's, a few of us, then we'll put it all together. So it's a time for us to get together. Next thing, I know you're looking at this going, wait, is it just for guys? No, the answer is no. Ladies can come too. But I am starting a men's group. One of my buddies, I go to the Tuesday morning Bible study group, and he said, hey, you guys should be replicating this other places because people need you. I'm like, all right. I mean, I know a bunch of people and whatever. Let's do this thing. What are we going to do? I don't know. I'm going to ask you guys what you're looking for. I know as a 50-year-old man, I've gone ahead of many of you guys, but there are people ahead of me. Like Jeff Binky said, hey, I'm in. This sounds cool. We can all learn a lot from Jeff. He's got a lot of great life under his belt. And I think many of us would probably say, I would love to be where he's at. He and I are both healthy and fit. He is healthier and fitter because he can do what I do, but he's older. He also has grandchildren. I don't have that. And they love him, and I want that, right? So we want to get together and help each other grow. The format of it, I don't know. The first thing is to show up and do it, and we'll get it going. This will be just for guys because I'm not a girl, and I don't have great advice for you guys. Mostly I just say, when the ladies in my life, my daughters and my wife talk to me, then I say, oh, well, I think that bitch is crazy. Or I say, I think that bitch is jealous of you. And that has served me well for the last 6 months. So I'm sticking with that. Anyway, so we got that. Now, other thing is, if you're a homesteader or got some chickens, let me pause and find that post for you. There is a group called Cherokee County Chicken Club. And I posted in there, hey, how about a meetup? What if we just get together? Not to swap chickens, any of that junk, just to say, hey, this is what I'm doing. And I have problems with this, that, and the other thing. Would you guys help me? All right? Or how would you solve this problem or whatever? Just to know people that are local that have chickens. Yes, I have a lot of chickens, but the coyotes and the hawks terrorize me. So I'm trying to figure out how to win against them. Right now I've got about 50 chickens and about maybe 20 of them are roosters. So I'm going to have to process those. So there's two things we're doing. One is just a meetup. Hey, let's get together. If you're with the garage and you already know we're meeting, we'll just meet here and we'll talk chickens. If you have chickens, then great. If you're interested in chickens, great. This is when you come. If you're in the Cherokee County area and you think, oh, homesteading or chickens would be interesting, then we're trying to set this up. We're going to do a first pass through. I think we're going to do it this coming Sunday. So I think this podcast will come out after we've already done it. There's probably going to be 4 of us show up. We're just going to talk and just say, hey, we're not axe murderers. We're normal people and we've got chickens, right? So you got to do the first meet and greet to let everybody know that, hey, we're all normal. We'll do that. At a later date, we'll do, I will host a how to process a chicken. And of course, they'll all be roosters because I got to get rid of some roosters. You can't have that many roosters. They just wear out the hens really bad. I've actually had some roosters kill a hen because when they jump on them, they put their pinions, their talons into the, under the wing area to hold on. And they will scratch them. And those talons are pretty damn sharp. So you got to watch out there. So we got that coming up. one thing I am trying to do a better job of is as I enter into this empty nest phase, I still have Evie, but she drives and she's very self-sufficient. So I'm kind of getting there ahead of time, but I'm trying to take the opportunities that I have and bring it to you guys and say, hey, how can I help? What can I do to help you guys along the way? I would love to help you minimize risk and maximize the advantage of whatever it is you want. One way to minimize risk is like stop eating stupid crap and don't buy stupid stuff, right? That's an easy one. The podcast is called Fitness, Food, and Finance, right? You typically, those three things go together. The weird thing, the other one that goes with it for longevity is connection. And I'm trying to help us develop that connection in a thoughtful manner, like a men's group. So will it be that men's group, will it be specifically Bible-based? No, but I mean, I am a Christian, so I'm going to give you philosophy and advice that's from that. So if you're like, no, don't join that. Somebody else can start a different group that has nothing to do with it. But it's very hard to talk about morality when at the end you don't have like a moral compass, in my opinion. I'm not saying you have to be a Christian. I don't really care. Do what you want to do. As a matter of fact, in our small group, we're going through Acts, and one of the guys said, hey, you guys should feel compelled to witness to others. And I rose my hand. I was like, man, I'm not compelled to witness to anybody. I feel like if I'm led to do anything, my thing is to help people live longer. So not to find believers, but to help like maybe believers or anyone just have a longer, better life. That's what I feel led to. Weirdly, I'm already doing that, so I guess that's good. I'm in the business of what I do. But anyway, so we have got these things coming up. We want to build community. We want you to be healthy and fit. We want you to be well invested. I'd probably say if you're on the financial sade, the best thing you could ever do is just go talk to Aaron Vincent or Matt Decker or Aaron Dixon or Alex Searcy or Brady Watkins or, oh man, I'm sure there's another one that I'm forgetting. There's 5 of you. Is that 5 or 6? I feel like there's another one. I cannot remember. But anyway, go talk to those guys. They work at Vincent Financial, and I mean, their whole gig is to help you with retirement, and that's what we want. We want money to retire, and I want you to have the health to retire. So, all right, guys. Hey, this is Andy McCann here in Woodstock, Georgia. If you're here in Woodstock, come join us, CrossFit Garage. If you're not, we have garagefitness.online. You can jump in there right now. It is free. It'll probably be free for all of 2025 as we built it out. We literally just started it before the year turned over. So it's still a work in progress, but Brandon Phillips is putting the programming in there, and you can follow along and do your own thing at home. It helps if you have a lot of like a home gym or a garage gym or a basement gym. But if you just have dumbbells, you can do this too. You can also, if you're like, dude, I don't want to do that, but I'd like to follow what you guys do on CrossFit Garage. Well, one thing you could do is just go to our website, CrossFitGarage.com, click on gym info, and then click on WOD, W-O-D, and it actually tells you what we're doing in the workout. And at the bottom, you'll see of the workout, it says an at-home option. So you have an at-home option. You're at home. You can totally do this. I don't mind. Follow it. Great. But I would love for you to be part of the community. Okay. Y'all take care. Have a great one. I'm always here for you.